whatever it is that you're creating, you deserve for it to be something that you want to be living in your mind all the time, that you're just delighted for it to be there. You're delighted to be thinking about it all the time. You're delighted to be thinking of all the new ways and the ways that it can take you deeper into that thing. When it comes to content creation, if you're this type of digital content creator of some sort or other, just to really see and be discerning about like what is actually sticking in there in my mind when I'm creating these things, because whatever it is, it's going to be there. And sometimes it can even be fun for a while and then it's not, but just always kind of reflecting on that for yourself. To give a concrete example, when I was making TikTok content and YouTube or even Instagram Reels, what was actually getting stuck in my head a lot of the times was the audio that I was using. So that small snippet of a song that I was using in order to be like the background of my reel. And I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just what was looping over and over again. This sound and this, sometimes the imagery of the thing that I made would come up. And yet sometimes that was like, oh yeah, that was great. What a good shot. But ultimately, compared to what goes on in my head now, firstly, it's a lot more peaceful in there. There's just a lot less noise in general because I've cultivated that silence. I've tuned out a lot of that noise. I'm not doing so much scrolling, so all of that trending audio is just not a thing that's being stuck in my mind. So I'm hearing a lot more of my own voice. And the more I hear my own voice, and then it just bubbles up in me, and then I want to express it, it doesn't always come out exactly the way that I thought it perfectly did in my head. But the more I do it, the more I want to do it, because that it to me is just worth exploring, pursuing, getting deeper at, getting better at, getting more skilled at. And the more I think about it, the more I want to think about it. And it's not always an active thinking thing, right? I'm going about my day-to-day life. I'm sitting in silence. I'm taking a hike. I'm doing chores around the house. I'm doing, admin stuff on the computer. And whatever it is that you're working on, it's going to pop up in your head in those quieter moments, or in those moments when you're distracted with other things. So, is it stuff that you want to be there occupying the space in your mind or not? And be really discerning about that. Is the stuff that's occupying your mind, did it come from you, or did it come from some other source? Did it come from what you're seeing on social media all the time? Did it come from, I know that for another example is that for a time, I was on a hair care journey, there's nothing wrong with that. But when I was specifically looking for those things on Instagram, I would just see it all the time. I would see the shiny, long, luxurious hair, like being tossed about and thrown about. And that's what a huge amount of my feed was, and also a huge amount of what was going on in my head and what I would think about when I was looking in the mirror, when I was thinking about in my, when I'm just driving or something like that. And I would prefer not to think about that all the time. In fact, I want long, luxurious hair. Okay, next, moving on to the next thing in life. Because again, also that's the manifestation part of just embodying the version of yourself that you want to be. Okay, when you already have something and something just is natural to you, you're not obsessing about it all the time. You're not thinking about it all the time. What you want to think about, what you want to use your mind for, is to just think like, what do I want? And more, when I ask myself that question, I am framing it in what do I want to feel in my life, and what do I want for the world? What do I want for every being in this world? And when I spend the time really dwelling in what my vision for a world that's full of people being their most creative self, being their most abundant selves, knowing that they are perfectly capable of generating every single need that they want, having healthy, fulfilling relationships in their lives. The more I dwell in that world, the more I know it and know it to be true. And I really mean, this isn't just an imagination exercise. It is a reality, a parallel reality that's truly possible for our world. And it's our power as human beings to just choose that reality and to choose it over and over and over again. And the more I do that, the less I can get taken in by, just a lot of the noise that's there, out there trying to pull my attention away all the time. And the more I only want to entertain thoughts and just any mental activity having to do with that, which of course you're not your thoughts anyway, that whole thing of thoughts that are happening in your mind, it's not actually who you are in the first place. You're so much more than that. You're this expansive being, and your capacity to choose for your life is just it's such an amazing gift. You're at this point where you know that you deserve better, and you know that everyone on this planet really deserves better. And by you doing it and choosing it for yourself over and over again, you choose it for the world. You really do. Not only are you worthy enough to do it, but in doing it, in choosing to be so discerning that you are going to live your highest ideal no matter what, you make this possible for the entire world. You're so important. It's so important for you to do this work. And I don't even mean that means that there's a certain idea, a certain specific thing that is you have to do deep work. You have to talk about deep things on the internet like I'm doing. This is just what calls to me. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It could be that what you really want to do is just spend time with your children and your family. And that's what really resonates and feels the best for you. Trust it. That's it. It's trusting your body more than you are trusting this external idea of what you need to do to have approval and external validation and to make a difference in the world and to showcase a beautiful life. I mean, you know this already. You're at a point where you've kind of been there, done that, especially if you're a content creator who's been at this for a while and are just disillusioned by the idea of kind of this whole celebrity, parasocial, idealized lifestyle type way of doing business, and you're just wanting something more authentic. This whole authenticity thing, I could make a whole separate video about what I feel that really means to me, or how I understand that. But to summarize, it's about having higher standards, having really high standards for yourself. But when I say standards, it doesn't mean living up to some ideal that has come from an external image outside of you. This is a big lesson I had to learn, is that life got a lot more peaceful when I decided to slow down, and I decided that taking it slow and taking my time is fine. Is just fine. And I'm good and whole and complete right now, right where I am. I don't have to get somewhere. Neither do you. So, as usual, I'm going to tell you about my resources that I have below, which right now is just my bullet journaling course, which is a tool that I have used for the last 3 years and that I just love, and has really, really carried me through some major ups and downs in life, and some major identity deaths, if you will, too. But it's been instrumental, that along with just taking time to sit in silence with myself every day, taking time to be in nature. Those things together, it makes such a tremendous difference. So if you feel called, check it out in the link below. It's available by donation. Bye for now.